Hello, everybody. This is Mary Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live from flynubianqueen.com, the network for melanated women like you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. I was experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties today, so I do apologize for starting late. I try to be punctual, but we're going to always push through, so come on into the chat. Mary Dean Esquire here, and today I want to talk about is 2020 our year of reckoning? Penn County declares racism a public health concern. That is the topic of today. Come in and let me know who's in the chat. Give me a shout out your city, shout out your business. Let's see. Okay, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live chat, everybody. Mary Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live on the Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated women like you. I am excited to be here. I did not join last week. I've really been in my feelings, as I'm pretty sure all of you are in your feelings, because it's a lot of things that have been going on in regards to the Black community. Our brothers are being gunned down while jogging in the park, and the whole society at whole, not just the Black community, but our society, our nation, our country as a whole. Everybody is going through it, and we do see how that is affecting our community, the Black community. Okay, so come in, shouting out your city. Today we're going to talk about is 2020 our year of reckoning? You know, all of the ancient wisdoms talked about the last will be first and the first will be last. The last shall be first and the first will be last. The last will be first and the first will be last. And I reiterate that because, I love my people and I love our Black power. And as we tend to, want things to change and we talk about things, we get critical. We get to become, we usually become armchair revolutionaries, if you will, and everybody's got this and everybody's that, and we ain't got this and we ain't got that, and we ain't got no community, and you just hear it over and over and over again. And I just don't think that is, being supportive. I don't think that is advancing the community forward. And I really had to take some time and gather my thoughts, because I wanted to make sure that when I spoke to you and spoke on some of these topics, that I was not just merely perpetuating some of the stories that are being told and some of the anger that is being expressed. And every emotion serves its purpose. I mean, anger has its place, and you don't rally, you don't do if you're not angry. Sometimes anger is the appropriate emotion. But I'm going to leave that for those that are going to be angry. And I always try to come to a place of not just balance and in the middle and normalcy, but I try to make sure I stay above the fray in the area of excitement and gratitude and what I'm looking forward to. And so I want to ask you guys, when you talk about why is the Black man hunted down? Why do they say that the African-American female is the most disrespected, neglected, person in America, quoted by Malcolm X? What is it that they are so afraid of? What is it that they do not want us to be? And what does that mean for us? And who are we really? If everybody wants to use you, take advantage of you, look up to you, who are you? If everybody want what you got and want to siphon off your energy and use what you got, who are you? And that is the question I pose for you, because as the last will be first and the first will be last. I like to think of it as, Mother Earth goes through her cycles. They said it about, 2,800 years, just like I, as a woman, go through my cycle, every 28 days. And so just like Mother Earth, we have these cycles. And so Mother Earth has these massive big cycles. And so that's why they were able to predict the end time and the last days that all of the religious texts speak about. But the best part about the end time and the last days and deaths is that there's always a rebirth. You will always get a rebirth after the death. And I always told you when I came on this channel that I would inspire you to be great, and that I would always speak life into you and nothing more, and nothing less, And so I encourage you, who are you? That you are the ones that they want to hunt down in the street. So, give you a little story. When I studied one of my favorite religions when I studied religion, my favorite subject. Hi, Miss Shirley Smith. Hi, sister. How you doing? Be angry, but not sin not. All right. I hear you. If you are angry, and for those, anger has its place, like we said, but let it inspire you and let the fire move you to action. But as I do speak life into you, Miss Shirley Smith, and all of my brothers and sisters here on this live, I come to encourage you, and I come to remind you, as I was talking about the 2,800 year cycle of Mother Earth, similar to the 28-day cycle of all of the women who live on Mother Earth. So the cycle, she goes the furthest away from the light. You get her in what religious texts refer to as the Dark Ages. And the closest, as she moves in her cycle, that she's moving to the light, she's getting closer and closer to the light. This is why they always said that we were waking up, so to speak. Waking up because Mother Earth is waking up, which means, for lack of a better analogy, the light is just coming on. I mean, point blank, period. As she moves closer to the light comes on. And as the light comes on, right, just as the sunlight arises in the morning, when the sunlight comes on, there are animals and there are plants that thrive in the sunlight. And there are animals and there are plants that thrive in the darkness. Melanated people are people who thrive in the light. And so as the light comes on, people who have skin that is made for the light, people who have hair that grows to the light, people who have sun and soul and sunlight in their soul, the melanin is made in the same part of the brain. The same part of the brain that they refer to as the seat of the soul is the same part of the brain that produces the melanin that makes your skin black. So when you open your mouth and rainbows come out, and when you just happen to hit the beat on the 1 and 2s and you don't have to study that beat, that is because that heartbeat, the earth's heartbeat, beats, and it's in your heartbeat is in harmony with the heartbeat of the earth. You're in tune with that. We are all in tune with that. And I don't care. There's not enough guns in the world. There is not enough laws in the world. There is not enough people who want to oppress it in the world. There is nobody who can stop the light coming on. And as the light comes on, the beings who will thrive in the light shall flourish. So I'm not concerned about what people say, oh, we don't have communities, or we don't have this, and we ain't got this, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. And I just trust. I trust in the cycles of life. I trust in the light. I'm an optimist. I'm going to always believe that good will always win. So I trust. And I've learned to trust in the middle of nothing to trust in. Faith is a muscle that must be grown. And that's why I reiterate the secret. And that's why I will talk about this every time I'm on this live until it is ingrained into your beautiful Black brains. We are a magnificent, mighty, beautiful, power, industrial people. There is nothing that can stop us. There is no amount of darkness that can take that away. It's the light coming on. So, what else is there to say? And I'm a big kid. As I started practicing the secret, I started getting into a lot of cartoons and whatever I could do to keep my mind positive. I would feed myself laughter and love everywhere I would get. And so I got into watching cartoons. And one of the cartoons that I absolutely love was called Trolls. I love Trolls. I love me some Trolls. Just call me Princess Poppy. So, but the reason why I bring up the cartoon of Trolls is because the interesting thing about the story of the Trolls, it is definitely remind me of the story of Black people. There were these trolls and they would hug every hour, and they were really good at singing and dancing, and they only wanted to love and they only spread light. And the Bergen people were these big, burly monsters who were very dark. And the only way that they could find happiness and joy, so they thought throughout the earlier, most of the movie, was to actually eat a troll. You know, the only way for them to find light was to actually eat a troll. And on that eating of the troll, let me let that sit with you. And I want you, if you want to manage your money, go to flynubianmoney.com. If you're looking to manage your business, go to flynubianbusiness.com. You can also download some of the resources that we have at intheblackresources.com to help keep you and your bank account in the black. We'll talk about being in the black and how that was even came about, but that's another topic for another day. Text the word Queens to 31996 to receive text alerts and special offers. Again, I'm Mary Dean Esquire here with you from the WallStreetLawyer.com on Fly Nubian Queen Network.com, the network for melanated women like you. So back to my story. So they felt like the only way to get that power or to get joy or to be happy was to eat a troll. And so the trolls escaped and they got away and they were all tucked away and, but no one could find them. And so the Bergen didn't get to be happy for a long time, and so that was it's interesting to me because that is the relationship that we have, that Black people and white people have with one another, and I think when they look to you, they understand the God in you. They see the beauty in you. They know who you are. There's myths of, during slavery time where white slave masters would take a little Black baby and put him on the floor and put their feet on top of the baby's chest and sit there and hope when he was sick and hope that the baby would drain the sickness out of him. So they always knew who you were, and then they came in with slavery, with Bibles and crosses to tell you that what your ancestors was doing was evil and that you need to do what they're doing. And that's kind of how we really got suppressed, because we lost our true language and our true way. And we lost our ability to commune with nature and master the elements, earth, wind, water, and fire. But I'm an optimist, and I believe as the earth is waking up, the light beings on this earth who occupy this earth will also be waking up. And that's you and me, and so I just want to encourage you guys as you're going through it, because the earth is the energy. But energetically, you can choose what side of the coin that you tapped into. You can choose to witness the hurt and the pain and the agony of it, or you can elevate and levitate your mind and enjoy the smooth sailing of it. And the way we do that is trusting that God has us. Oh, that's a good, interesting topic. Integration was the worst thing that happened to Black people. I know people say that all the time, but I'm an optimist. And while I have had a very interesting, difficult life, one thing, the way that I've always got to my blessings in the middle of the storm was to understand that every single problem was always an opportunity in disguise, and that my God is so perfect in all the things that he does, and that my life is so perfect, and that there are no mistakes, and there's only merely cycles, right? The pendulum always swings back and forth. And so I don't, I'm not a victim. I'm not going to blame anybody outside of me for what I can control within me. And that's all of us. We have the power, that's the thing about it. When we keep giving the power away and say, you big bad bully, you did this to poor little me, that's saying that you're bigger than me, you have more power than me, and I don't have any control of that. And that's not true. It's not big bad you and poor me. It's, so you see better at night. Good thing the light's coming on. Let's see how this thing keep popping. And that's the perspective that I have, because I understand that the knowledge that I do have was knowledge that I was not supposed to have. This was knowledge that was not passed down to me from my grandmother. This was knowledge that was not passed down to me from my parents. Although they gave me the best that they could, they were still Bible-toting Christians, you know what I mean? And no offense to anybody else who is, but I know a deeper truth. The practice for me is Christ consciousness. It is to understand that he was going around preaching that we could do far things greater than him. But as long as you're told that you can't, then you won't. And as long as you're told, why do you think that there's so much in the media? So all of the villains are dark-skinned black men, and all of the, all black women are we have this image that they feed us that we are always overly sexualized, and we don't have this and we don't have that, and we're passionate people. That is the power that we have. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The thing that we must understand is how to use and direct that passion in ways, because that passion is power. When you have that kind of passion behind the thoughts that you were thinking, or i.e. prayer, when you have that kind of power and focus and passion behind the words and behind the thoughts, you are a power to behold. Nothing can stop a man who knows who he is. Nothing can stop a man who is sure of who he is. That's power. That's power. That's power. That's power. We can't wait for other people to educate our children. My cousins, I don't have children of my own. I only have a cat. But one day, but I don't have a cat for them. But my cousins have children, and they homeschool their own children. Do you really expect your enemy or your master to educate your children? That's ludicrous. And so the fact that you would even think, I don't expect my enemy to give me my definition of God. I do not expect my enemy to give my children what they need. I expect my enemy to give me the information, and the information only to keep me in a certain way. But it's 2020, y'all. If you do not know something, it is because you do not want to. You have the opportunity to get knowledge at the tip of your fingers. So don't take my word on it. Research it on your own. Look it up on your own. And when you realize the power that you have to speak life into anything, we learn how to speak life. So it's all good. 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 I count it all joy. My greatest problem has always been my greatest opportunity. Ain't no punk in me. Ain't no punk in me. I feel like, if the Lord is taking me through the valley and I got to fight an alligator and I got to swoop down and do all of this wrestling, I understand that there is something there for me. There's something there for me. So I count it all joy. I count it all joy. 2020 is our year of reckoning, y'all. For the first time, we got Penn County declares racism a public health crisis. Let me dig into this article because I done got on all of some couple of tangents. Let me see here. Okay, the massive spread of COVID-19, the corona pandemic, has revealed economic inequalities that the United States has been dealing with for decades. From the disproportionate rate of Black people contracting the virus to the economic hardships many of the country's poorest have been left to face alone. It is because of these developments that one city in the state of Pennsylvania is leading the charge by declaring another public health crisis that arose as a result of the coronavirus: racism. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Allegheny County has passed a motion of 12-3 to label racism a public health crisis this week. The document was initially drafted following a 2019 report that revealed that Pittsburgh has the worst quality of life for its Black residents than in any other city of its size within the country. In Pittsburgh, the rate of infant mortality among Black children is 94% higher than the other cities in the study. Research found that Black men within the city also face higher rates of cancer diagnosis and cardiovascular disease. This is not just a Black issue. This is a humanity issue, as we heard in the many statements that came before, said Councilwoman Olivia Bennett, who is also the lead sponsor of the bill. However, some are not on board with the new motion, such as Republican Sam DeMarco. I do have a problem with the language. It seems that they're calling out whites as a collective and claiming that whites are responsible for this racial classification scheme and things like that, he explained. And I'm sorry, that language, I just can't support it. To the folks on the right, we believe that white privilege is something that's just something created by the left to create division. Well, there. So let me know what y'all think. Is white privilege something that the left has used to create division? Is white privilege something that this concept, this notion, this words, this language, something that they use to just merely create division, or does white privilege actually exist? Does white privilege actually exist? Take a minute to hit the thumbs up, click the subscribe button. Text the word Queens to 31996 to receive text alerts and special offers. Okay. That's this interesting notion of white privilege. You know, it's this one analogy that someone told me I thought was so interesting when they described white privilege. They said, white privilege is kind of like water to a fish, or maybe even air unto a regular human being, that you don't know that it's there until you don't have it anymore, or till you're dying. I'm really butchering that analogy. But I think one of the things about white privilege and one of the things about racism is if it doesn't affect you, you don't see it. If it's not your reality, if it's not something that you live, if it's not something that you're privy to, if it's not your problem, then it does not exist to you. To you. To you. If a black man can't go jogging without the fear of being shot down, racism definitely exists. Had to take a breath on that. If racism does not exist, that's because that, just as the acknowledgement alone that racism does not exist, is someone touting and toting their white privilege. There's not a black person alive that would say racism doesn't exist, whether or not they witnessed it or not. Because I'm pretty sure if they have not witnessed racism personally, they know someone who's witnessed racism personally. How many people in the chat have witnessed racism personally? I got some stories of my own. I'm an attorney, and I pretty much step out pretty and in pearls. But I have actually been accused of stealing from the store. And I actually made them call the police, and I waited there till the police officer came. I made a big spectacle about it too. I remember working at this store who did not want to also hire my brother. This was many years ago. I was still in high school at the time. Who did not want to hire they were looking for a man because they needed someone to be a stock boy, but they didn't want to hire my brother because they didn't want a black man. Yeah, she said it. She did not want a black man. And on some level, I mean, because of the lamestream media, you can't help but wonder if people's, thoughts and mentality it's fed to them in a sense. So, I have a lot of sympathy even for the white community, because I really, not to say that I don't think that it is a white and black issue, because it's definitely a white and black issue. We feel the pain of that. We live the pain of that white black issue. However, I think the issue is a bigger issue than white black. I think that it's classism. I think that as long as they keep the middle class divided, united we stand, divided we fall. If they keep us, divided, then we are not working together, and they keep us fighting. We can kill each other in the streets. We can spend all day being upset about our rights. And really and truly, the one thing that really means anything is power, is money. Money is power. Anybody got some money, you can go get your own piece of earth and do it and do with it as you will. You can do your own thing, you can create your own community. Wealth is power. And so that, my brothers and sisters, is something that I want you guys to focus on. I want you guys to focus on new ways of creating wealth. I want you guys, and not just from an egotistical, conscious perspective. I am the wallstreetlawyer.com, and on my website, the quote on my homepage is, in order to manifest abundance, one must understand the co-creation process with infinite intelligence. So let me break that down, because I know it's wordy. I'm dorky like that. But in order to manifest abundance, one must understand the co-creation process with God. When you master the ability to ask and receive for something, and the process of asking and receiving, you have to ask, then you have to receive, and then you have to believe. And so it's, and believe with the innocence of a child, and never, ever, ever complain. I want you guys to understand, when you complain, you are praying and asking for the thing that it's like you're slitting your throat. Every time I think about myself about to complain, I think of this. And that sentence gets cut really, really short. Because it's 2020, y'all, the day of reckoning. And whether or not they want to give it to you or not, the light is coming on. And those who have power, who benefit from the light, those who are most powerful in the light will wake up. There's nothing that anybody can do about that. So they might as well get in line, because I assure you, as my hair is curling, as the day is long, you will be first. You will be. You can't, it's science. Look it up. Google it. Look it up. Look it up. And with that comes, to whom much is given, much is required. And I say that to say that the words you speak have power. That's the only reason why I didn't go live last week, because I was told to try to stick on certain topics, and I had no words, and I did not want to I was not in the place to give you some light. I was out there. It hit me like a ton of bricks. So I know it hit you guys like a ton of bricks. It's devastating to know that mothers have to fear when their baby's boys go out, that they might not be coming back home. That's devastating news, to think that you actually do live in a world where people are still in 2020, still being killed for the color of their skin, hunted down like animals. I had to spend some time in some prayer, but I come to today, on this Tuesday, and to give you a bit of hope, to let you know that whatever, it's like they can build a dam all they want, but I'll be damned if the dam is going to be able to hold the flood of water that is coming. And so as you understand what's coming, I want you to speak to it. That's a part of manifesting. Talk it to you. Speak to it. Thank God for it already. Thank God for your provision. Thank God for your light. Thank God for your way out of no way. And as you begin that process, that is how the way out of no way will be revealed to you. So I encourage you all to understand who you are, to know who you are from the inside out. Because as you know who you are, you shall know that there is no weapon formed against you that will prosper. Nothing. Nothing. Tell me who y'all is in the comment section. That's been a mouthful. That was a mouthful. But even before I begin talking to you guys, I always want to ask, what is it that how can I put a spin on this that will give you guys some hope? How can I give you guys some light? And all I can say is learn how to speak life. I can't, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I want to sound like a broken record until it plays in your sleep. That I want you guys to learn how to speak life. I want you guys to learn, the power of the word is like the power of prayer, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And so that every word out of your mouth is kind of synthesized with a whole lot of power. And as Mother Earth is waking up, moving higher up into the stars, and getting closer to the light, then we must understand that those words that we speak carry a lot more power. They get to the top of the mountain a lot quicker. And so that we have to give ourselves, we have to be more conscious of the words we're speaking. We have to be more conscious of the power our words create. We can't just recklessly complain and they did this and this, and because the more, think about it. I want you to understand that the more you speak that, you are speaking life to that. You are continuing that. And so as you change, just a simple act of changing your vocabulary. And it is just that simple because you are just that power. Just a simple shift in your language, a shift in your perspective, that wow, so many of us are waking up, and thank God for this internet that we're also united, and thank God that people are still out there doing the research and doing what it takes to be, and thank God that we're all united and we have a place that we have live queens going live, giving us information and discussing topics that we can be tapped into. And thank God for a Dr. Boyce Watkins, who is out there spreading knowledge to melanated people and only concerned about the melanated agenda, and speaking life into the melanated community, and giving us opportunity and chance to learn how to commune with one another and speak life amongst one another. Thank God that we are waking up right now. Thank God that there is a Penn County who has declared racism a public health concern, so that now that they can treat beautiful Black people like the rare and endangered species that we are. Thank God that they're doing something so my baby girl will have a much easier time finding her Prince Charming. Thank God that, everything that I know that is working out for our benefit. Thank God that we are all here and together and able to unite in love. And so, and that is how I speak to my problems. Thank God for the Rona, because it is giving us focus and helping us clarify what it is that we want 2020 to be like, and to infinity and beyond. I thank God for the opportunity to conquer the challenges that life brings, because it is in those challenges that my muscles get strong. So Lord, I don't shy. Ain't no punk in me. Ain't no softy in me. I don't shy from my thank God for FlyNubianQueens.com, the network for melanated men and women like you. Thank God for Miss Shirley Smith, who put that on my heart to say. And so that is how I speak to my problems. That is how I speak to my obstacles. I thank God for every single one of them, because it is in when you build muscle, you have got to put the weight on. You have got to put the weight on. And I remember, think about a fighter training in a fight pen. And they keep bringing in the person to come in for you to go toe to toe with and I remember telling God, okay, I get it, God, I get it. Problems, opportunities. I done mastered that. You going another problem, another ass I got to kick. Damn. All right, let's go. And that's how it is, that's how it is. But that's why I shine. That's why I am so beautiful. I'm strong and beautiful, and it's not from a vain place. That's why you were so beautiful, my beautiful Black people. Because the thing when they say, oh, they thought that they were burying us, they did not know that we were seeds. Forbes magazine declared that the African American female was the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States of America, in the land of the free, the land we were. What they say, Plymouth Rock didn't land on you. You didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on you. You were already here. We built this land. The first commodity sold on the New York Stock Exchange was slaves. Okay, the oldest building in the United States was owned by a man of African descent. Okay, Francis Tavern, Samuel Francis, right there on Pearl Street in the financial capital of the world. Okay. So when we know who we are, and that's the beautiful thing of the age of enlightenment. We are moving from the age of I believe to the age of I know. We are moving from I believe I can fly to I know I can fly. When we really know who we are, honey, you really something to behold. So that's just what I'm going to do. Every time I'm going live here, I'm going to tell you who you are. I'm going to tell you who your mom is. I'm going to tell you who your daddy is. And they sure wasn't some people devil worshiping in the woods like they didn't know what they was talking about. No, honey, they knew. They had complete mastery of the elements, earth, wind, water, and fire. They knew. They spoke a language that you would be so lucky and blessed if you could remember. But I tell you, it is ingrained in your DNA. What's coming, what is already here, and they can't shoot us all. You can jail a revolution, and you cannot jail a revolution. So, with that being said, how y'all doing? That's right, honey. We speaking this like My son recently turned 18 in March, and I have to pray over him daily because he lives in the DMV. That's right. Prayer will give you a lot. And people, but prayer without action is dead. But that's the thing, the action. So you pray first. And here's the thing about prayer, which I would like to reiterate to you, is that you are a light being. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, which means that every single thought that you think is shaping your reality. Every single thought that you think is a prayer. Some are more potent than other ones because some have the power and the intent behind them. But every single thought that you think is creating something. Every single word that you speak is speaking life into something. So choose your words. Choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely. Do you believe? Will you dare believe with me that we are living through the Great Awakening? Will you dare believe with me that your power is increasing just like mine, that the light is coming on? Will you believe with me? I don't want to be by myself. You damn right the ancestors waking up, honey, because we the ones waking up. Our ancestors are living through us. I know when my grandmama with me. I know when she with me, but the thing about it is I'm the one in the body. They working for me. They working with me. They're supporting me. I'm the one still in the flesh. It is my duty to honor them. Hey, Damon Van Zant, y'all. All right, y'all got to give a shout out to Mr. Damon Van Zant. This is son of Iyanla Van Zant. He didn't check me because my country self, Iyanla Van Zant. Mr. Damon Van Zant is on the chat, y'all. He's got a new documentary coming out. I don't want to talk too much about it because we got to make sure it's all protected. We're going to get on that meeting as soon as I get off this live, Mr. Van Zant. But his mother, I call her the godmother of soul. And she is so divine, she wouldn't even tell, oh, honey, you can't call me. That is Aretha Franklin. She the godmother of soul. Yeah, Aretha Franklin, the godmother of a different soul. The kind of soul we got that come out your mouth. See, Iyanla Van Zant. She is the godmother of the soul, the kind of soul that we have that's ruminating on the inside. That's the kind of soul she is. Let me tell y'all how I met Miss Iyanla Van Zant, because I love giving y'all stories. How did I meet Miss Iyanla Van Zant? She's an attorney too. This was 2017. This is the same year that I created intheblackresources.com. That's the same year God gave me that online business building resources to help keep you and your bank account in the black. So it's the same year that the Lord put that on my heart to give. It was 2017 was a really dark year. 2014 was like a really dark years when I first became the Wall Street lawyer through that circumstance. But then 2017 was probably the year that everything came to a head. So the year started off gloom and doom. 2017, my cat died. I come back to New York, my cat just dead in a closet. So I should have known 2017 was going to be a fucked up / beautiful year. And so that's how 2017 started off. Then we rolled into January. My father and my brother had got into it. I mean, really physical altercation. Really wasn't pretty either. And so that was January. And my birthday is in January. But let me say that. So it was a very, Lord, what is going on kind of thing. And so fast forward to that summertime. And my brother, who had been dealing with a drug addiction, I got some pictures of him. His face, he was beat up. He looked so bad. My brother looked like Emmett Till. And I ain't exaggerating. My brother looked just like Emmett Till, y'all. And so I didn't know what to do. And I decided that I was going to throw myself back in and save my brother and fix his life. And so I was at my last resort. I had tried everything, tried to get him to go to rehab, drove him to rehab, just doing all kind of stuff to try to fix my brother. And finally, I was like, you know what? Iyanla Van Zant gonna do it. Can't nobody do it. Iyanla Van Zant can fix his life. Yep, there you go. Good. That's a good idea, Mary. Yeah, okay. So I launched this plan to get next to Iyanla Van Zant. I talked to my client, Rick Mathis, the film director of the film Black Friday, where he talks about the $1.3 trillion spending power in the Black community. And so I'm talking to him, and he tells me, well, Iyanla is going to speak at Hillside Truth International Church in June. I think it was June or July, something like that. He said, yeah, she's going to be speaking. Why don't you can get to it there. So I'm like, okay. So I buy a ticket. I get the VIP ticket so I can make sure I'm getting next to her. I get my VIP ticket. I type up this letter. I write her this letter. My brother, can you fix his life? Yada, yada, yada. He needs you. Boom. I printed off his pictures of his face looking like Emmett Till because I'm like, I'm gonna go for shock value. As soon as Miss Young son see the picture, she gonna be like, whoa, girl, what is going on with your brother? So I'm going for shock value. And so I get to I buy my ticket, I get to the airport, fly to Atlanta, get off the airplane, walking outside the airport, about to hop in a cab. I look to my right, and you're not gonna believe who was standing right next to me. Ayala Benzant and Damon Benzant. I met them both together. Ayala Benzant was right there in the airport. Look at God. Look at God. Talk about when you on purpose and in plan and God has things lined up for you. So after I picked my mouth up off the ground, I was like, oh, yeah, I am. Okay. So I run over there and I'm like, oh my gosh, my name is Mary Dean. I'm the Wall Street lawyer. I came all the way to Atlanta to see if you can help me fix my brother's life. So as soon as I said that, Damon says, the Wall Street lawyer, I done heard of you before. And I was like, you heard of me for real, or you pulling my chain? So when I said that, Ayala Benzant bust out laughing. When she started laughing, that kind of broke the ice, and she started talking to me. Okay. So what was the first thing out of Ayala's mouth? I'm telling her about my brother. Boo, my brother. I don't know what to do. And so the first thing out of Ayala's mouth was, why do you care so much? That's my brother, So I stopped crying. I'm like, what? Wait, what? That's my brother. I'm supposed to care. I'm supposed to care. Ain't I'm supposed to care for him? Ain't I'm supposed to fix him? Ain't I'm supposed to, he's my little brother. I'm supposed to, my daddy always told me look out for little brother. So ain't that my job? Is little Mary's big sister? Ain't that what I'm supposed to do? Why do you care so much? Then the second thing out of Ayala Benzant's mouth was, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Like she did that, y'all. She did that. The whole let him go, the Ayala that you get from the Ayala Fix My Life, I got that right in the airport. Boom. Look at God. And it was the first time that somebody gave me permission to let him go. He is not my child. He is not my responsibility. He is 35. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, we grown. We good and grown. He was not my responsibility. And what she said to me was, until you let him go, until a person hits rock bottom, they don't want to change. And as long as you were here, as long as you were there, coddling him and making sure he don't fall, he'll never fall low enough to get up and clean himself up. You can't do it for him. You can't make him do it. So let him go. And I thank the Lord for her. I thank the Lord for that moment. It was not what I was anticipating. It was, and she still said, and send me his information. We'll see what we can do with him. But he ain't followed through with her. You know what I'm saying? But it was the first time, and the only other person besides my big sister who I love from the bottom of my heart. It was the only other person in the world who gave me permission to love myself enough to do something that was good for me. Like, let him go. If he wants to live, he will. But I can't live for him. I can only live for me and use whatever life I have left to live it to my fullest potential, And it was a darkness, a pain that he was bringing into my world, into my life for my whole life. And, the power was in letting it go. The growth for me was in letting it go. The growth for him, interestingly enough, when I actually let him go, he's been more clean longer, and looking better than all of my doing and trying could ever have done. She was right. She was right. So to me, she will always be the godmother of soul. Ayala Benzant will always be the godmother of soul. And I will always appreciate what she gave to me on that day, you know, and it's turned into David Van Zant, who is now a client of mine. I was able to work with Miss Ayala Van Zant on something at the time back in 2017. So I just, you know, and I would never have ever even sought that woman out if it was not to fix my brother's life. And that is only the beginning. And so for me, you know, and I tell you that story because it was just yet another time where a problem was actually an opportunity, right? And that's why I say whatever is meant for bad for you, it is always your good. It is always to your good because you are good. You are powerful. That is you make you speaking good over whatever the day is, whether it's raining outside or not, whether it's Rona outside or not. The power to speak what it is to you and your experiences within you. So I declare every problem that I have is an opportunity, a stepping stone, or another piece to my puzzle of becoming the best version of who I am. I'm an optimist. There's more things in the world trying to work for my benefit and help me become the best version of myself. That is 2020, the deliciousness of this world. Donald Trump did not give me, Barack Obama did not give me my American dream, and Donald Trump is not going to take it away. It is something that I declare that I have because it is my God-given birthright. He didn't put me on this beautiful, delicious earth for me not to enjoy it. And you think I'm going to let the little rain outside and focus on that when I can focus on the butterflies? It's still a beautiful day. It is still a beautiful day. We still yet live. We will survive. My challenge to you is to do more than survive. It is to thrive, because that is what we are here to do. I'm Mary Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, here with you live on the Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated women like you. Have a good day. It was fun. Bye-bye.